Boat buyers spent over $3 billion on premium features in 2023 that most never use. Touchscreen helm displays fail in 2 years, automated docking systems break after 20 uses, integrated entertainment packages cost $15,000 to replace. The marine industry keeps selling features that sound impressive at boat shows, but turn into expensive headaches on the water. Why are dealers still pushing technology that fails faster than basic equipment? What makes these premium add-ons so unreliable? Stick around, because what you discover might save you from the biggest mistake boat buyers make. Boats used to be simple machines. A helm had a steering wheel, a throttle, gauges for fuel and RPM, and maybe a radio. Everything was mechanical or basic electrical. If something broke, any marina mechanic could fix it in an afternoon with standard parts. The shift started in the early 2000s when manufacturers began competing on features instead of reliability. They looked at the automotive industry's success with luxury options and wanted the same profit margins. A basic helm station cost the manufacturer maybe $800, but add touchscreens, joystick controls, and digital switching, and that same space now generates $5,000 in revenue. Boat shows became technology showrooms. Sales teams learned that flashy features close deals faster than talking about hull design or engine reliability. The average boat buyer visits a show once every 7 to 10 years. They see the latest gadgets and assume boats have evolved like cars or phones. Boats, however, operate in salt water under extreme sun with constant vibration and wide temperature swings, conditions that destroy electronics designed for controlled environments. This chase for features created the modern problem. Manufacturers now load boats with technology that looks cutting edge in the showroom but that fails in real marine conditions. The marine electronics supply chain changed without most buyers noticing. 20 years ago, boat manufacturers used specialized marine-grade components tested for years in harsh conditions. Now, 70% of boat electronics use the same chips and screens found in automotive or consumer products, just repackaged with waterproof ratings. Industry data shows that marine electronics failure rates jumped from 12% in 2010 to 31% by 2023. The shift happened because boats became low-volume specialty items compared to cars or phones. Component suppliers stopped investing in true marine-grade development. Why engineer a specialized touchscreen for 50,000 boats when you can adapt a car part that sells in millions? Cost pressure accelerated the trend. Boat buyers expect new technology at launch prices that barely cover manufacturing costs. A marine-grade chart plotter that truly survives 10 years of saltwater exposure costs manufacturers around $2,000. But buyers compare boat electronics to their $400 car GPS and refuse to pay the difference. Manufacturers responded by using cheaper components with fancy marketing. Terms like marine-rated or water-resistant sound protective, but often just mean the device passed a basic splash test, not years of sun exposure and salt air. The hidden shift was from durable marine equipment to adapted consumer electronics that fail fast. A 2022 Sea Ray Sundancer owner faced this reality after 2 seasons. He paid $18,000 for the integrated helm package featuring dual touchscreens, digital switching, and automated trim control. The system worked perfectly for 14 months. Then the main display started flickering during engine starts. By the 18th month, the screen went completely dark. The dealer diagnosed a failed display module. Replacement cost was $11,000. The part had a 9-month back order. But the problem went deeper. The digital switching system controlled everything from bilge pumps to navigation lights through that screen. Without it, basic boat functions became impossible. The owner had to pay an additional $4,000 for a temporary bypass system just to use his boat safely. The manufacturer eventually covered half the repair under goodwill, but the owner lost an entire season of boating. He calculated his total loss at $23,000 when counting lost vacation time, temporary repairs and depreciation from the known defect. Marine electronics technicians report this pattern constantly. Complex integrated systems create single points of failure. When one component dies, it takes down multiple functions. The old mechanical backups no longer exist. One failed circuit board can make a 60-foot yacht undrivable. The pandemic boat buying surge drove manufacturers to load every possible feature onto new models. Boat sales jumped 43% in 2020 and stayed high through 2022. Builders could not keep up with demand. They saw an opportunity to maximize profit per unit by stuffing boats with premium technology packages. Dealers encouraged it. A base model boat might earn them $4,000 in commission, but add the premium electronics package, upgraded entertainment system, and automated features, and that same sale generated $12,000. Sales teams pushed features hard because their income depended on it. First-time buyers made up 38% of pandemic boat sales. They had no experience to know which features actually mattered on the water. They trusted dealer recommendations and bought fully loaded boats, thinking more features meant better value. Manufacturers rushed production to meet demand. Normal testing cycles that took 18 months got compressed to 6 months. Electronics were installed without long-term marine environment testing. Quality control slipped as factories ran double shifts. The boom created a huge fleet of boats packed with untested technology. Between 2020 and 2023, manufacturers sold an estimated 320,000 boats with premium electronic packages. Many of those features started failing just as buyer enthusiasm cooled and the market turned. Dealers financed their feature-heavy inventory through floor plan loans that averaged 7.3% interest by late 2023. A 40-foot cruiser with full electronics sat on dealer lots for an average of 9 months instead of the traditional 3 months. That inventory carrying cost jumped from $6,000 per boat to nearly $14,000. Used boat values dropped fast once buyers realized how expensive feature repairs were. A 3-year-old boat with premium electronics lost 42% of its value instead of the normal 28% depreciation. Buyers specifically avoided used boats with complex systems because repair costs exceeded the price difference between used and new. Dealers got trapped. They could not move inventory without massive discounts. Banks tightened lending for boats with known electronic issues. Trade-in values collapsed, making it impossible for owners to upgrade. The market developed a growing inventory of boats worth less than their repair estimates. Repo activity increased by 36% in 2024. Many repossessed boats had failed electronics that made them difficult to resell. Auction houses reported boats selling for 50 to 60 cents on the dollar specifically because of electronic system problems. The debt spiral fed itself as more distressed inventory flooded the market. Modern boat features depend on proprietary systems that only factory-trained technicians can service. A failed touchscreen helm requires specialized diagnostic equipment that costs dealers $35,000 per unit. Independent mechanics cannot access manufacturer software, so owners are forced to use dealer service at premium rates. Parts availability became a crisis. Electronics modules for popular features have lead times of 8 to 14 months. Manufacturers discontinued support for systems older than 5 years, leaving owners with expensive equipment that becomes permanent junk. A joystick docking system control module that costs $2,000 new has no aftermarket alternative. When it fails, the entire system must be replaced for $12,000. Labor costs exploded because diagnosing electronic problems takes twice as long as mechanical repairs. Marine electronics technicians bill out at $150 to $200 per hour. A simple problem like a faulty connection can require 6 hours of diagnostic work because systems do not provide clear error codes. The complexity trap gets worse over time. Each model year adds new features that integrate with existing systems. Updating one component often requires updating 3 others to maintain compatibility. Owners face a choice between spending thousands on updates or living with systems that partially work until they fail completely. Touchscreen helm displays fail across all brands. Garmin, Simrad, and Raymarine screens show similar failure patterns after 18 to 36 months. Direct sunlight degrades screen coatings. Saltwater corrosion attacks connections despite waterproof ratings. Industry estimates suggest 40% of large-format marine touchscreens need replacement by year 4. Integrated entertainment systems from Fusion and JL Audio cost $8,000 to $15,000 but rely on streaming services that do not work offshore. Owners pay premium prices for Bluetooth speakers they could buy for $300. The integration becomes a liability when one component fails and takes down the entire audio system. Automated docking systems from brands like Volvo Penta and Mercury work impressively at boat shows but develop problems with real-world use. The joystick controls rely on precise thruster calibration that drifts over time. Sensors get fouled by marine growth. Repair costs average $4,000 to $6,000 per incident. Many owners stop using the systems after the second failure. Digital switching systems from manufacturers like C-Zone replace simple mechanical switches with touch controls. They eliminate physical circuit breakers and fuses owners could fix themselves. When the control module fails, nothing works. Replacement modules cost $3,000 and require dealer installation. Premium Anchor windlass systems with wireless controls sound convenient, but the wireless receivers fail in saltwater environments within 3 years. Owners end up running manual overrides that cost $800 to install, eliminating the premium features value. A Florida family saved for 12 years to buy their dream cruiser. They chose the fully loaded model with every premium feature the dealer recommended. The boat cost $380,000. After 2 years, the integrated helm system failed during a family trip. They got stranded 60 miles offshore because the digital engine controls went dark. The Coast Guard towed them in. Repair estimates ran $18,000. Their insurance covered the tow, but not the electronics failure. The boat sat at the dealer for 7 months waiting for parts. They made 22 monthly payments of $3,000 each while the boat could not be used. The financial and emotional stress nearly broke them. They eventually sold the boat at a 40% loss. Marine service managers see these stories weekly. Retired couples who plan to live aboard find their dream boats undrivable because of electronic failures. Young families lose entire vacation seasons to repair backlogs. The human cost extends beyond money into lost memories and broken plans. Owners describe feeling betrayed by dealers who sold them expensive features that became liabilities. Social media groups for boat owners fill with warnings about specific systems and brands. Trust in the marine industry dropped sharply as feature failures spread across the market. Marinas report service bays booked solid with electronic diagnostic work. Where mechanical repairs took days, electronics troubleshooting takes weeks. A typical 50-slip marina now has 12 boats waiting for electronics repairs at any time. The backlog pushes routine maintenance further behind. Marine electronics technicians command premium pay, but dealers still cannot find enough qualified workers. Training programs take 2 years and cost $30,000 per student. The shortage drives up labor rates and extends wait times. Some marinas stopped accepting electronics work entirely because the diagnostic equipment investment does not pay off. Storage facilities see boats sitting unused for entire seasons while owners wait for parts. The visual impact hurts. New buyers tour marinas and see dozens of boats obviously not being used. It raises questions about boat ownership value. Coastal economies feel the impact. Fewer active boats means less spending on fuel, supplies, and services. Marina restaurants and shops report revenue drops of 15 to 20% in areas with heavy electronics-related downtime. The ripple effect touches every marine-related business when premium features keep boats tied to docks. The industry reputation suffers most. Word spreads fast in boating communities about which features fail and which dealers provide poor support. Sales slow as potential buyers hear failure stories from current owners. Reset. Manufacturers recognize that reliability sells better than features. They return to proven mechanical systems with basic electronics backup. Industry standards emerge for true marine-grade components tested for 10-year life cycles. Parts become standardized across brands, creating competition that lowers repair costs. Service networks expand as independent mechanics can again work on boats. Used boat values stabilize as buyers trust older equipment will stay functional. The market rebalances around quality over complexity. Reckoning. Feature failures accelerate as the pandemic-era boat fleet ages. Repair costs exceed boat values for thousands of owners. Manufacturers continue pushing new technology to maintain profit margins while abandoning support for older systems. Dealer networks consolidate, reducing service competition and raising prices. Used boat sales collapse as buyers avoid anything with complex electronics. The marine industry fragments into luxury buyers who can afford constant repairs and basic buyers who choose older mechanical boats. Middle market boating shrinks significantly. Current indicators suggest the reckoning path. Electronics failure rates keep climbing. Parts availability keeps worsening. Manufacturer support windows keep shrinking. Unless the industry changes direction soon, the premium feature era may collapse entirely. Watch manufacturer warranty terms. When companies reduce electronics coverage from 3 years to 1 year, they know failure rates are climbing. Track parts availability for systems older than 5 years. If manufacturers stop supporting recent technology, future support will be worse. Monitor used boat listings for pricing patterns. When boats with premium electronics sell for 20% less than similar boats with basic equipment, the market is pricing in future repair risk. Check service bay, wait times at dealers. Backlogs over 6 weeks signal the repair infrastructure cannot handle the failure rate. Follow marine electronics technician employment ads. When dealers offer signing bonuses over $10,000, the shortage is critical. Pay attention to independent marina policies. If they stop accepting certain types of electronic work, the problem exceeds normal service capacity. Watch for class action lawsuits against manufacturers for electronics failures. Legal action suggests problems are widespread enough to justify a collective response. Track dealer closures in your area. When service networks shrink, your support options disappear. These signals help you decide whether to buy new boats with premium features or stick with proven mechanical systems. The smart money watches these indicators closely before making six-figure purchasing decisions. The sun sets over a marina filled with expensive boats. Half sit dark, with failed systems waiting for parts that may never arrive. The other half run on basic equipment their owners can actually maintain. The line between smart boating and expensive regret comes down to choosing reliability over showroom flash. The marine industry stands at a crossroads. Either manufacturers return to building boats that work for decades, or they keep loading vessels with features designed to fail. Your choice determines which future wins. Buy complexity and accept repair bills that rival your boat payment. Or choose simplicity and actually enjoy your time on the water. The useless features remain useless until manufacturers build them to last. Until then, the smartest boat buyers are saying no to technology that sounds good but performs badly. If this opened your eyes to what really matters in boat ownership, subscribe to Fleet Watch. We keep tracking the marine industry's failures so you can avoid them.